let's just get down to what it is. It's when you're putting yourself in a place where you're facing off against the things that nobody else wants to do, and you start doing it for yourself. It's when you start asking the questions that nobody else would ask. And I don't know why other people won't ask those questions. I don't know why they teach in schools that you have to work, 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 and that you have to get some kind of a profession. What about your life? What about your journey? What about when their lives are falling apart? We're trained that work is the solution. It's the mentality that's the solution. It's the ability for you to be you that's the solution. As we see this time, as we see this place, as we see these kind of people going through, remember this. Remember that it's you versus you. Somebody else cannot do this for you. Nobody else needs to take your place. They don't need to fight your challenges. It's going to be you versus you. It's going to be what you want to achieve. It's going to be through your mentality. It's going to be through that you're going to make it through the things that you want to. It's through your level of freedom inside of yourself. It's through your permission to be you that you're going to achieve things. It's through your permission to be you that you're going to face off against things. And it's on a daily that you have to get down with yourself. It's on a daily that you start to grind. It's on a daily that your mentality starts to be free. And this channel is about freeing yourself. It's about you finding that place inside of you. It's about you giving yourself the permission to be you. It's about you seeing that you are liberation, that you are freedom inside of yourself. And when you give yourself the permission to have your mind, when you give yourself the permission to be you, that's when you start to succeed. It's when everything else is working against you. It's when all the things that are going against you are there and they're happening for you. And so when you start to see everything working in your favor, when you start to overcome things that other people would just call impossible, there have been people who have focused past things and have achieved things and done things just from their mentality. And, it's going to be when you continue and other people quit. It's going to be when you believe in you. It's going to be when you recognize that you are going to have challenges and that you have to give yourself the ability to start putting on those shoes, to start putting that mentality in place, to start giving yourself that kind of place to have the ability to grow inside, to have the patience with yourself, to have the ability to be you. And a lot of people are limited on this. A lot of people are limited on the ability to be themselves. And it's within that you find yourself. It's within that you find the answers in the things that you're searching for on a daily. Because each of us are going to have challenges. And each of us have our own individual challenges. We each have our own individual life. We have our own individual stories, and your story is important, and your ability. And I would enjoy it if you guys would share your stories, and we'd start getting those kind of connections and start for us all to work together, and for us all to build a community of people who believe in motivation, who believe in meditation, who believe in inspire people, and putting themselves in a place where the ability for them to be themselves, to overcome what other people would call impossible, because you are a blessing. And so how do we start to get that kind of mentality? How do we start to get to that place where you start to give yourself that kind of permission, where you are you? And I want you to be uplifted. I want you to see that when you focus, when you truly focus on yourself, when you truly focus on the ability inside of yourself, when the universe starts to ask you those great questions, is this what you want? Is this where you want to go? Is this the types of things that you want to face? To answer back is yes, I can. And how do we start to get there? How do we start to get that kind of mentality? How do we go through those kinds of challenges? Take some time for yourself every day. Take a place. Give yourself a little bit of time every day to be you. Give yourself a little bit of time to sit by yourself, to focus, to speak your mind, to write your mind, to sing your mind, to give yourself that place to be you. And it's inside of that we start to see that freedom comes. It's inside of that we start to become a blessing in the universe. It's when other people see you and they see that you left them blessings. It's when your mentality hits a level where you want other people to become blessed because you are blessed in your life. And how do you get there? How do you start to see that for yourself? When does it start to happen? You know, a lot of people see those people that have reached that place. They've reached that level where they have achieved it, where, you know, other people would call that, and then they crash to the ground. And that's right, they fall flat on their face. And why? What does it take them to get back up? How do they get back up? You know, it said that most millionaires that are millionaires have lost millions to get there. You know, it's interesting that a lot of people forget about that. They forget that when you use the tools in the universe is utilizing you. It's utilizing you as a blessing. It's using the challenge you face off against. It's asking you the questions that nobody else would ask you. And sure, they might call that deep, but it is. And it's meant to be. It's meant to be to the core, to asking your mind, are you being who you are inside? Are you getting stationed in the mentality? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Focus to that place where it's other people that call you motivation. It's because you're so focused on the things on your journey, on your path, so that you can achieve your purpose, your place, your blessings. They come from within you. They come from your ability, blessings. You already were born with challenges. You already were born with a mentality, and it's up for you to take that for yourself. It's up for you to free yourself. It's up for you to see that you can and that you are a blessing in the universe. How do you start to see that? How do you get that connection with the Most High, that you become a tool unless you honestly sit down with yourself? Start asking yourself that kind of question. How do I get there? How do I get through this? How do I get to that page of my story? How do I face off against those kind of challenges? And that's why you ask yourself this question every day. Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? And if you start to recognize this universe is greater than you, that you can use the things of this universe for you, that your purpose in this universe, this message is for you. It's about your energy. It's about your mentality. It's about your ability. It's about the ability for you to be you. And that's the place where it all starts. It's all going to start with you. It's all going to start with how you face off against things, how you put yourself through the challenges. What is it going to take for you to get your butt kicked and get back up, for you to go through things that nobody else will? And where do you start to? How do you start to? Is the mentality inside of you that such that you have that ability to face off against those kinds of challenges so you can be who you want to be? And it's with that level of focus that we find a foundation. It's with that place that we find that place of focus. It's through the process. It's through the ability for you to be you. It's through you working through your challenges so that you can be who you want to be. It's with your mentality. It's with your ability to take a moment for yourself every day. Every single day, we got to ask ourselves this question. Is what I'm doing motivating? Is what I'm doing from my level of focus creating a reflection of motivation? Is it creating a place where other people become uplifted? They see me so focused on my own path, on my own grind, that they become motivated themselves. And how do you start to do it unless you give yourself the time to do it? And where do you do it? How do you start to give yourself that kind of time? Have you sat down with yourself? Have you started to study yourself? Have you given yourself the ability to sit down and to write stuff down and to truly put it in front of yourself in such a way that your mentality has permission for you to be you? Is your mentality in such a way that you give yourself that place, that you give yourself that kind of permission? And it is through that we start to focus to that level. It's through that we start to get to that place. It's through that we start to get through those kinds of challenges. It's when we start to get so focused, when you are so focused that the results is not a surprise. It's when other people start to call you motivation from your level of focus. Let them call you things. They're going to see you as strength when you focus to that level. When you put things down and you start to manifest it, don't be surprised when the results start to come back as you starting to succeed even when you're failing. Even when you're failing and you're still getting successes. And when other people don't understand how it's possible for you to do it and how it's possible for you to continue even when other people would just give up. Focus to that level. Focus to that place where it's you. Nothing more than you, just yourself. Just your blessing which is inside of you. You are a blessing in this universe when you start to see it for yourself. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Focus to that place where you give yourself that permission for you to be you. What a blessing it is for us to be in this universe. What a blessing it is for us to face off against challenges. What a blessing it is that you wake up every day, that you have things that you can make it through, that you have a ability for you to have challenges. Because without challenges, you can't focus through them. Without challenges, you don't have the ability to have your own opinion. Without challenges, you don't have the ability to be yourself. And so how do you face off against your own challenges? Have you taken that time to put yourself in a place where you are facing off against them? The results are coming through you. The life that you are living is the one that you chose. The people that you want around you are the people that you want around you on a daily basis, because you can have that. You can have that, and it won't be easy. It's not meant to be easy. That's the purpose. It's meant to be a challenge. It's meant to face off against those things so that you can truly be you. So that you can truly be you are inside. And it's from that mentality that the universe starts to become utilized. It's from that mentality that you start to see the blessings coming your way. It's with that mentality become positive. It's inside of that place. See it. Creation of focus is within you. It's the process that you got to enjoy. It's the process of waking up. It's the process of writing stuff down. It's the process of being honest with yourself and writing down everything, putting everything in front of you, putting it in such a way that you can achieve it, that you can become it, that you can light up this world in such a way that you're manifesting, that you are putting yourself in a place where you have that kind of permission. What a blessing it is for us to be alive. What a blessing it is for you to have challenges. Are you seeing the process through them? Are you seeing the ability for you to go through challenges as the ability for you to overcome them? That when you focus beyond, when you put yourself in a place where you are focused beyond focus, how the heck do you get there? How do you get into a place where other people start to call you a motivation, where the universe needs you? And it's nothing you being yourself. So be who you are. Face off against the challenges that you were brought here to do. Recognize that you are a blessing in this universe. Let this universe start working for you. Let it start working through you. Let it start being a part of who you are. And as you give yourself that place, as you put yourself front and center of your life, you're going to start to see things change. You're going to start to see things happen. And so as we focus beyond, as we're talking about focus beyond focus, we're talking about the ability for you to face off against the things that... And it's not going to happen by them putting their finger in your face and you listening to them. It's going to when they put a finger in your face and you're not listening to them. It's when you are giving yourself that kind of permission to go through the challenges of your life, to go through the challenges for you. You are a blessing in this universe. You have a path in this universe. You have a purpose in this universe. And you have a breath in this universe. Do you own your breath?
Drop if updated.
Do you own your path? Do you own your purpose? Do you own your challenges? How do you make it through your challenges? How do you get to that page where you have what it takes? Where what you're facing off against can no longer stop you, where it can no longer hold you back. It's inside of you that you are looking for. It's inside of you, or it's inside of your man, that you will have the ability to sit down with yourself, that you will sit down with your challenges. It's inside of that place where others will start to see that they have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer. Life, you have a purpose, you have a path. You are a blessing within the universe. And you have to trust yourself. You have to become your best friend and to do well